Hello, I'm back once again, and this time I'd like to talk to you about my holiday to Malta. 2010, it was the third week of November. I went with my mum, you just saw in the last photo there, and we stayed at the Aura Palace Hotel in Aura, which is on the north coast of Malta. These next few clips are just a little walk that we went on to Bujuba, which is the next place, further up the north coast. They're actually joined together, but Bujuba's in a separate administrative district in Malta. That's the view from the balcony in this. We went to Valletta for a day. Can't really visit a country without visiting the capital. And we went there by bus. It only cost about 60 pence, I think. And it's very nice, which you'll see shortly that they have lots of shutters and balconies. It's all very sort of picturesque, if that's the right word. You can use it with the city, but there you go. And here, the Baraka Gardens, this gives you the best view from Valletta. You can see the Grand Harbour here, and on the other side of the harbour you can see what is referred to as the three cities. And these are called Vittoriosa, Sanglea and Cospicua. This is just more views from the gardens there. And yes, I'm not quite sure what a co-cathedral is. I did have a look sort of on Wikipedia, but I couldn't actually find anything. I don't know if it's something to do with the fact it seems to have two sort of towers. I don't know. Anyway, the National War Museum, yes, who spent quite a bit of time here because Malta was, obviously, any historian will know, is sort of very strategically placed within the Mediterranean because, it's very easy it's already in Europe, but has easy access to North Africa and, of course, the Middle East. So it was very important during the war, and obviously you've got the story of the Maltese being awarded the George Cross, and I actually saw the letter within that museum. Here is a place called Mosta. This is in the centre of Malta, and this is famous because you'll see in a minute this bomb. It's actually a replica of the bomb, not the real thing, but it actually went through the roof, but failed to go off, and sort of the people of Malta, especially being Roman Catholic, believed that this was a sort of act of God, that in fact it didn't go off, and so that's why you got the replica of the bomb there. Medina, this is the old capital, the former capital of Valletta. Medina, obviously meaning sort of fortress, and it's not very big. I think it's only about 10 acres or something. But obviously, Malta was always being, invaded by Turks, I think it was. And before that, the balcony there, that was actually a French balcony because the French ruled over Malta for about, it was only, I think it was about 2 years, a very short period of time. It was very unhappy for them. And the British came to their rescue. Anyway, the Dingley Cliffs, yes, and this is a very, very old monastery sat there on top of the cliff. And this St. Paul's Church here, this is the previous Pope came here to pay his respects, I suppose. Yes, getting away from serious matters. Going on to St. Julian's, which is a very touristy sort of area, very popular with holiday makers and people who like to go to nightclubs. I'm a bit old for that, so I don't do that anymore. But the water's very good, it's very nice, and there I am enjoying a pint. This, yes, the trip to the Blue Grotto, I think my mum will agree with me that I think this was the most enjoyable part of the holiday, albeit the most scary one. They did say that they wouldn't do this excursion, the sea was too rough. I can't imagine it being much rougher than it was when we went. but I suppose it did make it quite exciting. It was such a very small boat. I think there were four or five of us on this little boat, and yes, the inshore waters were very, very choppy, to say the least. So yeah, it was very nice. Marset Locks, this is a coastal fishing resort, very pretty and not developed at all, which is nice, because one of the criticisms of Malta is I think you can argue that some of it is slightly overdeveloped for such a small island. But now here we are going to Gozo, which I have to say, sorry Malta, I actually preferred Gozo slightly more because I thought it was much greener, and it seemed to be a little less unspoilt than Malta itself. Oh yes, the Gozo buses, because the buses are very famous as well in Malta, but they have a different one in Gozo. They have a grey one there, whereas they have yellow ones on the island of Malta. Now I can't remember. This was famous for something, and I can't remember. I can't find it in any of the books. But yeah, there were some nice views there. And this, the Basilica of Tarpinu, is very famous for if you're a Roman Catholic, and the sign is it's telling you that there are rooms to weep in if you are rather overcome by the church. And one thing we did notice is there was some rather unusual, well, I thought they were unusual rooms, and I think it was dedicated, if that's the right word, for children who had died prematurely, and it had sort of children's clothing and pictures of them on the wall, which I thought was rather strange. But, anyway, gabbling on as I do, this is views from the capital of Gozo, or principal town, if you like, Victoria, and yeah, there were some excellent views from there. Yeah, it is only a small resort, this one. I'm not even sure I can pronounce it. No, I'm not going to embarrass myself any further. And yeah, some more fantastic views here from Gozo. This was on the day before we left Malta. And some beautiful sunsets there. And that's it, I'm afraid. Bye-bye.